There are a couple informational workshops, and if you put these on your calendar, if you're a supporter of the railroad, I would appreciate you being there. If you're not a supporter of the railroad, don't look at this slide. The Tuesday the 10th here in the Adult Recreation Center in the city of Gastonia, and then of course also at Catawba Heights on the 16th. So please mark those on your calendar. Now, this is probably the more controversial point of the presentation, so let me clarify. Passenger service is an option. There are some within DOT that are very negative about potential passenger service. So let me just say that. We see it as a critical piece to support business in the community, as well as a new revenue source to mine for those tourist dollars that are out there. And incidentally, that's my car on the tail end of that train. Shipper specials is one of those areas where we can provide for the people that ship on the line the ability to take customers out and take them for a ride on the railroad and have lunch, dinner, whatever. We also see that a tourist service is a potential, a real potential, especially being this close into the Charlotte marketplace and with the demographics of the area. Do murder mystery trains, dinner trains, also things like the special events like the Christmastown Express for McCaddenville. Also special events trains. Now, this next one, that last point, commuter rail to Charlotte. Everybody asks that question. If the line was all under the same control, that would be an easy solution. The line is not totally controlled by NCDOT. At Mount Holly, the ownership changes to CSX and continues as a CSX ownership into the last mile and a half of track, which is then back in NCDOT ownership, and that's the original P&N line. The line today, of course, would originate here in Gastonia. And by the way, again, going back to the concept of the old passenger station, here is a concept of what could be the new front door to Gastonia from a transportation perspective. This is in the area, is anybody here from CMEX? The CMEX plant is right here. Our concept would be, this would be a new Amtrak multimodal facility, not only Amtrak, with the Amtrak trains now, instead of going up to the little, you know, that little shack that's up there, kind of out of sight back up there, that nobody wants to go to because the train comes through in the middle of the night and you don't want to go out there and stand around. So what we see is this could be a, first of all, there's a lot of vagrants, and Lord knows that my friends, the merchants that are down along Franklin, constantly say thank you to me, trying to keep the some of the folks that walk around and panhandle back there and that take their Mad Dog 2020 bottles and smash them all over the place back there. So we're that area has real potential being the front door to Gastonia once again. And with a multimodal facility that provides for the Amtrak service, future commuter rail potentially for us on the P&N, and then also the Greyhound bus and the intercity bus and the local bus service. So, and I know Jack Kaiser's in the room, and there's something that he has a flyer. Was that placed on the tables?
I didn't have quite enough to put it every place, but there are flyers out here of a community workshop on developing the concept of a multimodal center that will allow our community to grow into those needs into the future and accommodate all the various modes.
That's great. So please note that, and if you have an opportunity to go to attend that workshop, that'd be a great idea. That would be really helpful to again, you know, as part of the project. This is where the track, the portion of track that I'll be leasing on the other side of the Big River. You can see the tracks in the foreground, and you can see what's in the background. It's absolutely within walking distance of the Bank of America Stadium. But before you go too wild on that idea, there's one little issue, and that is that we would have to have cooperation through CSX to gain access between the Gaston County end of the PNN and the Mecklenburg end that's owned by NCDOT Rail. So don't, you know, I want you to understand, while that's a great concept, it's not doable today. Let me emphasize it. And by the way, here's, again, back in 1950, and then if we morph this into what it looks like today, that same place, that's where the trolley used to run, was right up through the, that underpass. If any of you have parked at Cedar Street Yard and walked up to the stadium, you're walking on the old PNN Railroad. Now, has anybody looked at a railroad recently and seen what color it is? Well, let me tell you, it's green, okay? And the reason I say rail is green, it enables sustainability and low carbon emissions, and provides for reduced highway congestion. And you've seen the Norfolk Southern commercials and the CSX commercials. Great job, guys. I think it's about time we tout the real benefits of our industry. The efficiency, the ability to effectively move freight long distances with very low energy costs, which, you think about it, is a strategic importance to our country. On a nationwide basis, the inefficiency that we have allowed to develop by our transportation methods is really hurt us, because it forces us to go after that foreign oil. So we need to, in a strategic sense, be thinking about what can we do to minimize the oil consumption in this country, and rail is absolutely a solution. And the equation 1, 4, 2, 3, 1. Again, you've heard this said, 1 ton of freight moves 423 miles on 1 gallon of fuel. It's tremendous when you think about it, and you compare the actual, you know, ability to move heavy materials long distances with a minimum consumption of fuel. You could look at various quotes and studies. You know, railroads 4 times more efficient than trucks. Commuters spend less time in traffic because you're not competing with truck traffic. We don't have the damage to our interstate highway system by removing the heavy trucks that should properly be placed on the rail network. So let us help you get on track to profitability and growth.